What's up, everyone? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Komaris. We're back at it again with another question that needs answers. This is part 3, and we're just gonna get into it this time. So let's go. So for question number 1, I have: are you a multidisciplinary artist or a multifaceted person, or do you just lack focus and discipline? And I made this question mainly for myself, while thinking about, like, I have so many interests, so many things that I want to do in life, so many, creative endeavors and pursuits that I want to take in my life, but I feel unorganized in my way of, doing that. Like, I know I want to dance. I know I just want to create videos. I want to direct. I want to produce. I want to write. I want to, I want to do, I want to model. I want to do a lot of things, but I feel like I have no sense of direction, and I pick and choose when I want to do it based off, like, sometimes even the difficulty or what's available to me and my circumstances, my situation and things like that. And I feel like that's not, right. Um, but I feel bad if I neglect my interests and talents because, I don't want them to be taken away from me. But yeah, not by man, but by God. Um, but yeah, and also, like, there's this thing to where, like, people be like, you know, I've always had this mindset myself too, like being a jack of all trades and a master of none, which is like, a Shakespeare quote. But mm, I feel like lately that maybe I should just choose one thing and, like, really focus and hone in on it. That way it would make me, undeniably good at something. But then again, when I think about it, it's like, okay, then that would make me only good at one thing and, a master at one thing. But if I continue to, show my interest in all these other endeavors that I have and things like that, it would make me, you know, each different thing will give me a perspective, not only for the thing that I'm working on, but for other things as well. Like, things, they cross and they provide you with, like, information and inspiration for other things. Like, it happens all the time. Like, me playing Sims made me realize that I should make a YouTube video about the way that I specifically have an interest in Sims as compared to, like, everyone's else interest in Sims. And yeah, but yeah, I feel like a lot of us who do have the mindset of, considering ourselves being multidisciplinary and also, multifaceted, we do in a way have, like, a lack of discipline and focus in a way. But what artist doesn't? Question number 2: do elders like having the upper hand all the time? So I asked this question because I was just thinking about, like, you know older people and how they always, are in the right. My grandma, she always used that. She always plays the role of, I'm your elder. You gotta respect your elders. When she realized that she's caught in the wrong, like, she be quick to, you gotta respect your elders. So that you use that to, elders do have the upper hand. But I wonder if there are some elders who don't like always being right. And meaning that people always agree to what they have to say. And I wonder, like, how they really feel about that. Like, like, personally, I would feel like you not listening to me. Like, I've already experienced that, like, but doing creative projects and stuff like that, working with people, and they just agree with me just to, make me shut up or just get the project done. And I feel like elders experience that a lot more frequently in their lives, just because they're an elder. Like, anything that they say to their face, people are going to be like, yeah, I agree, which is wrong. But if I was an elder, well, hopefully I get to become an elder, I would always find a way to, like, spread misinformation in a way. just to see who's gonna agree with me and who's not. And I'm not gonna sit there and let them be like, because I know a lot of people who purposely tell you the wrong things just to see you walk off with that information. But I would tell you and they'd be like, you just agreeing with me. Oh, I knew that wasn't right, but I wasn't. Why you didn't say that to my face? Like, I would just turn it into a lesson to like always speak your mind or something like that. Question number 3. We have, why are meals seasonal? And this question was sparked by me and my mom, talking about certain dishes and foods and desserts that I be wanting her to make, and she just won't make them because it's not the season for it. Like, I love when she makes Kool-Aid pie, which I shouldn't be eating, but she only usually makes Kool-Aid pie during Christmas. And I feel like, why do we have to hold our taste buds back from a certain dish, a certain meal, just because it's not in season? I feel like that is stupid and it doesn't make sense at all. And if you want something, you should be able to just fix it and get it, which is why I need to learn how to cook for myself, because at this point I just can't do it no more with her. But I feel like I do have an answer for this question, why meals are seasonal, and I would like to say capitalism. Especially like at these food chain restaurants and stuff like that. Like, they have seasonal drinks, seasonal food. Like, you can't really get anything pumpkin until around the fall season that we're in now. And you know capitalism is going to make you wait for the type of meal, the specific meal that you want, so that it creates a type of like desire and makes you crave for it even more, so that when they finally put it up for sale, like, it's gonna sell constantly. Like, it's gonna put you in a mind field of scarcity. Like, it's only gonna be here for this long, so I have to get as much as I can. And it works. Question 4. Do you know that people really enjoy spreading misinformation? And this question was sparked by my grandma again, by telling me about like how always, like, growing up, like doing homework and stuff, she'd be like, all you gotta do is Google. Y'all blessed to have Google this and that. But I don't think people really understand like how easy it is for us to, not only just get information, which may be correct, but also misinformation. And a lot of times, most of the information is misinformation. And nowadays, you can even pay to have like certain searches pop up first and stuff like that. And people will intentionally do this and pay to do this just so this, I don't know why, but maybe out of spite, I don't know why. But I do know we did have professors that admitted to, like, if you look up certain answers, like, they have these forums and Quizlets that they create with the exact same questions with the wrong answers, just to see who's cheating and who's not and things like that. Now, so I feel like misinformation is spread just as easy as good information, and a lot of misinformation is spread the most, especially because like a lot of people and anybody can make websites and posts and things like that. I had to take a little break from recording because I could hear my cousin in there screaming. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but anyways. So, we just gonna go to the next question now. Question 5. What happened to cinnamon flavored peppermints? And it was just a random thought that I had like while I was on my way to work, and thinking about like every morning my grandma would either give me like cinnamon flavored peppermints or peppermint York patty as a child, up until like I was like the age of 7, 8ish. And I don't really see peppermint those peppermint patties or the cinnamon flavored peppermints anymore. You barely see the starlight ones, the white and green ones. But I really love the peppermint, not peppermint, the cinnamon flavored peppermints. And you don't really come across them anymore, and I wonder what happened to them. Question 6. How many people did Kanye West influence to self-diagnose themselves with mental illness after listening to the song Feedback? And the song Feedback comes from one of my favorite albums by Kanye West, The Life of Pablo. And in this song, he has the line, "Name one genius that ain't crazy."
Name one genius that ain't crazy.
Every time I hear that line, I think about, like, he ain't wrong, but also think about how many people plays crazy and the multifaceted, multidisciplinary person with, mental illness just to fit the stereotype or, look of a creative genius like Kanye West is. I think there are a lot of people who make themselves feel like they're creative wise, like just because they're doing a lot or, overstimulating themselves and overstimulating people that they're working with, it makes them feel as if they are, a crazy genius, like Kanye West is saying. And in most cases, it's not really true. You're just doing a lot. And yeah, I think there are a lot of people who, because there's always been people who self-diagnose themselves with mental illness just because they think it's cool. And I'm not going to say that, well, mental illness is not cool, but people who have mental illnesses or any type of disability, or anything like that, it gives them a superpower. And I think that's what Kanye West was meaning when he was saying, like, name one genius that ain't crazy. Not saying that people with mental illness are crazy, but they do develop superpowers. Like, they have like a way of viewing the world and viewing art in a perspective that just can't be seen by a normal person or anybody without mental illness, because mental illness is a chemical imbalance, and it alters your view on a lot of things, and it allows you to see things in a way that other people can't, and that's a superpower in my opinion. But again, there are people who force you know that upon themselves. Like, they make all this chaos in their mind, they forcing this, but in reality, with people who have mental illness or any type of disability or challenge or something like that, that comes to them naturally. They don't have to force, and overstimulate themselves on purpose. That happens to them naturally, and they create great, beautiful things in the midst of all the chaos. And yeah, I've been wanting to talk about that for a long time, and I'm glad I was finally able to say that on camera. Question 7. Do you really know how many things go undiagnosed due to lack of access to healthcare? And one example that I had that really made me think of this was like at work. I am not the type of person who is a very loud person, but it's expected of me to be able to vocalize or project my voice in a way that I really can't. And it makes it hard for me to speak very loudly. I'm like a quiet person naturally. I'm not a very loud person, and a lot of people don't really like understand that. Growing up, I always had people tell me like, you're too soft spoken in class. When I would say here, I would always not be heard by saying here, and I always get told to speak up when I'm talking. But it doesn't really happen like as much now. But as you can see, it did happen at work recently, and my boss was just like, you saying that you're a quiet person, you don't really know how to talk loud, that's not a valid excuse. You have to have a doctor's note, this and that. But what if I don't have access to healthcare? What if I am not able to prove that, or, go to a doctor to prove that there's something wrong with me, like not necessarily mentally, I would hope, but vocal cord wise or something like that. I have limitations to how loud I can get. And I feel like that is something that is always like overlooked. Like they don't look at the fact that everybody doesn't have access to healthcare to, provide you with no doctor's note. Some people just here and they get their money and they paying their bills off, like they don't, and it leaves them nothing to go to no doctor, pay for no doctor, things like that. But not to say that I don't, but there are some people who literally don't. And also it doesn't make sense because, you know, my coworkers also would be like, you gotta, after he said that, my coworkers were like,
You gotta project. You gotta say it with your chest. This and that.
and that's so stupid. I don't, if you say something from the chest, like the chest, it's not gonna make you go any much louder. You project from your stomach diaphragm somewhere within that area. That's how you project your voice. I know how to project my voice, but it only goes so far. And maybe I'm not the one who's, not loud. Maybe you just can't hear, or you don't want to hear me, because for some reason you hear everybody else when they say everything in a monotone, low tone. So, I don't know. Anywho, question 8, which is my favorite question that I've ever created, probably, or just in this video, I'm going to say. But did people in the early 2000s know that Jabot made more than just pants and shorts? So I'm gonna make sure I pronounce this name all the way right. So I'll be back. So Google Translation said Marie Francois Jabot, but I think it's Marie Marite sounds Spanish. That doesn't sound French. But maybe it's Marie Francois Jabot. I don't know. But I wonder if people in the early 2000s knew that the brand made more than just, the pants and the shorts. Because in the black community, um, the pants and the shorts with the straps with the M+F on it, Jabot, was what I saw most people wearing growing up, especially like my dad and stuff like that, my mom. I saw them wearing that like a lot, and I always thought it was like really cool. And, a lot of people have been sourcing them again, and seeing them like make a comeback like around 2018 when they started releasing like the pants that weren't as baggy. They're like more, skinny and fitted. It made me go back and like go on Depop and like look up the name and see like what else do they have outside of these pants. And I was amazed to find out that they actually do sell more than just pants. They have really cool jackets that I really, really love, like utility bombers, um, just all types of jackets. It's just so dope. And shirts as well, even backpacks that are really cool. And I really want something, but if they keep selling out before I get a chance to buy it. And I blame Billie Eilish, because she started this. For the past 3 to 4 years, I've definitely, been heavily invested into like the other things that they have outside of those pants on there. And I'm definitely going to cop me a piece one of these days, and I'm going to make sure that I clip this video right here once I get my piece from Marie Francois Jabot. Once I get my piece from that brand that I've been eyeing, I'm going to clip this and I'm going to add me with it. But yeah, Billie Eilish has been wearing Jabot a lot. Well, not a lot, but recently she wrote something with the, you know, the branding on it, and you know how people do, fans do. They saw her with it, they see you wearing a brand, they gonna look it up and they gonna buy it. And I think that's why my stuff been selling out. But yeah. Question 9, the final question. Should you have a separate account for shopping and selling on Depop? Main reason why I asked this question because I just bought this piece that matches perfectly with this thing that I have for a photo shoot that I've been holding off on for a good, since the beginning of 2024, once I finally finalized the whole theme and contacted the photographer that I wanted to work with and stuff like that. Hopefully they still want to work with me on it. But yeah, very dope piece. But I ended up buying it, but I sent it to the post office instead of my home address. I don't want people that buy from me to have my home address, so that's why I use the post office. But I ordered something and it shipped to the post office, so hopefully it's okay, because I do have a I do have a PO box. That's all the questions that I have. I'm short one question. I usually do 10, but you know, I wanted to get another video up, and my mind wasn't coming up with nothing else. So I just want to put that out there, and hopefully you all get something from this video and help me finding the answer to some of these questions, or just giving me your thoughts or perspectives on them as well. And yeah, I'm out. See y'all later.